In LA this week,
we needed to end this impasse.
Port workers and their employers come to an agreement that has cargo ships moving once again and goods being delivered. We bring you the latest. And the much-anticipated 6th Street Bridge project finally breaks ground. What the new modern landmark will look like coming up.
This is a year for artists.
What the year of the Ram means for those born under the zodiac sign. We take you to the Golden Dragon Parade in Chinatown for Lunar New Year festivities. Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. Port employers and port workers finally come to an agreement that will once again get cargo ships moving into the docks. Good news for businesses whose goods had been literally floating at sea while both sides worked out a deal. Rasha Goel reports.
The mayors of Los Angeles and Long Beach recently said their cities will work more closely together on eliminating cargo congestion at the port complex, now that a labor agreement between dock workers and port employers has been reached.
We needed to end this impasse because the competition we need to worry about isn't with each other on the docks. The competition is with the rest of the world, and we must work together to win.
Workers and their port employers were engaged in a dispute over union jurisdictions and health benefits. The impasse resulted in cargo ships being backed up, but the two parties have now come to a labor agreement.
We're committed, along with our port executive team and our commissions, to ensure that we begin this new era of cooperation between two ports and that we work together in the areas that are appropriate.
The dispute, along with problems moving more cargo from larger ships, has slowed down operations at the major West Coast ports for months.
We're going to work 7 days a week, round the clock, to get those containers moved, to get the cargo on the shelves, and as I told my son Aiden this morning, we're going to make sure the Easter Bunny visits everybody in the United States this year.
The mayors say the two ports will also address other issues,
including chassis supply and storage, vessel calls, and truck turn times. We'll also work more closely to collaborate on marketing, environmental issues, security, and legislative advocacy.
Both mayors agree it's time to create a more efficient port complex. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
To put things in perspective, more than $30 billion in national, state, and local taxes are generated from port-related trade each year. An iconic bridge downtown is soon to be no more, with its teardown scheduled to take place in just a few months. But in its place will be a new bridge that is expected to reach icon status as well and transform the downtown skyline. Yana Kay has more.
This artistic rendition of meandering walkways and sweeping arches represents a preview of what will soon take shape in downtown Los Angeles. City and state officials gathered for a groundbreaking of a $440 million project to replace the 6th Street Bridge, which crosses the LA River between Boyle Heights and the Arts District.
We're going to really take the city to another direction, and this river right here is going to be one of the shining crown jewels, if not the nation, the entire world.
Officials say the bridge replacement is necessary because the chemical reaction in the concrete is causing it to buckle and crack. They say it has a 70% chance of failure during a major earthquake over the next 50 years.
Unfortunately, this iconic 6th Street Bridge is fatally damaged. This challenge represented to all of us a rare opportunity to build a modern landmark, just as those that came before us.
Once it was determined that the original bridge, which was built in 1932, had to come down, City Council District 14 worked with Mayor Eric Garcetti and state officials to secure the needed funds for the new modern landmark. The new bridge will feature dedicated bike lanes, wide sidewalks, bicycle and pedestrian ramps, and stairs from the ground to the bridge. The project is being billed as one of the largest public works projects ever undertaken by the city of Los Angeles. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
The bridge is scheduled to be demolished this summer, and construction of the new structure is expected to be completed in 2019. Bring out the chairs, tables, and umbrellas. A new pedestrian district has been born in North Hollywood, a product of the community, the residents, and the city working together. Anna Marcos takes us there.
Call it the start of the People Street movement. This space in North Hollywood is the latest to get transformed from a blighted alleyway to an open-air plaza for the public under the city's People Street program.
This is a place for the people of this community to unplug, to spend time with each other, and to strengthen the connections that are already so evident.
It's a place that beckons to you to come enjoy, sit, read poetry, speak poetry, listen to someone singing, children playing, seniors sitting playing chess and backgammon. It's a gathering place.
North Hollywood, like other areas in the city, is busy turning blighted areas into urban oases that are not only more people and earth-friendly, but friendly to the local economy as well.
You have done a tremendous job in making this one of the must-see neighborhoods for visitors and one of the most visited neighborhoods now for locals.
It's now a hub of the arts, it's a hub for tech companies, and it's a hub for transportation.
The People Street program also has plans to transform streets in Leimert Park and Pacoima. One roadway in Silver Lake has already seen a renaissance after becoming a People Street.
What they were able to see was a space transformed, where folks put out furniture like we have here today. It was painted like this. People bring out spontaneously a basketball backboard. The farmers market went from 1 day a week to 2 days a week, and it became the hub of the community.
Those are the kinds of results city leaders want to see throughout the city. And the NoHo People Street Plaza, it seems, is already on the way to becoming a second success story and a favorite local hangout. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
And there's more in store for the NoHo People Street Plaza. City leaders plan to add more lighting as well as art murals. And pedestrian-friendly upgrades are also underway in a section of Silver Lake noted for its indie cafes, artsy boutiques, as well as its heavy foot traffic. Gil Reyes reports on improvements coming to Sunset Junction.
Whether you drive here or walk here, this stretch of LA known as Sunset Junction serves up a taste of Silver Lake's bohemian vibe at hipster hangouts like Good Microbrew. Just don't trip on the walk over there. City crews are on the case to fix the problem of crumbling curbs and sidewalks.
And all of these issues are going to contribute to helping define safety.
Specifically, we're talking about much-needed sidewalk repairs and tree plantings along a quarter-mile stretch of Sunset Boulevard in and around the popular Sunset Junction Plaza, an area already popular with a lot of pedestrians zigzagging in between a comic book store, bars, restaurants, and boutiques, and that walk is expected to become much more enjoyable once refurbishments are finished. Coming soon, around 20 new trees, up to 18 more trash bins, additional bike racks, also a mini plaza similar to a parklet. That plaza will measure 50 by 20 feet and house public art.
It's all about coming to Silver Lake and having a quality experience, whether you're dining or shopping or you live up the street and you just want to walk down here and enjoy yourself.
Silver Lake Area Councilman Mitch O'Farrell and the Bureau of Street Services say safety bump outs at crosswalks will also be added.
It reduces the amount of time that a person is out on the street, so we're basically taking the sidewalk, extending it out towards the street on either on one side or on both sides.
That means less distance while crossing, hopefully decreasing the likelihood of getting hit by a car. Traffic could increase during the construction phase.
To the community, please, understand that construction is dusty, is noisy. We'll try to minimize the impact
to make sure that we follow this project through to completion.
Construction will take place in sections, not all at once. It's expected to be completed in December. At Sunset Junction in Silver Lake, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Drivers are urged to be extra cautious of work crews along that quarter-mile section of Sunset between Santa Monica and Edgecliff. And speaking of Sunset Boulevard, there are so many iconic hotspots in our city, from famous streets to places like the Chinese Theater and Griffith Observatory. But there's a lot more to LA's history, and it's all easy to find. Rasha Goel explains.
Now, through a digital portal, Angelenos and visitors can explore the streets of LA to find cultural and historic treasures like this one behind me.
This outcome is Historic Places LA, a first-of-its-kind online information and management system specifically created to inventory, map, and help protect LA's significant historic resources.
You can go to historicplacesla.org to say, search for the location of an old theater on Broadway dating back to the early 1900s, or search for an architectural gem like architect Frank Lloyd Wright's Hollyhock House. The website has 3 main categories to help you navigate: modernism in LA, the entertainment industry, and pre-1900 Los Angeles.
It includes not only data from Survey LA, but includes designated historic places such as the city's list of cultural monuments, historic preservation overlay zones, and state and national historic places.
Survey LA has been a very systematic approach to going community by community across the city to identify and document our significant historic places.
Officials say historicplacesla.org is work in progress. While 75% of the work has been completed, additional places will be identified and added to the list. But in the meantime, there are plenty of places to visit. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
HistoricPlacesLA.org is created by a partnership with the Getty Conservation Institute and the City of Los Angeles. Some great news for those who travel east, as in to China. Air China announces a new nonstop flight to accommodate the growing demand for flights overseas. Yana Kay reports.
Nearly 70 million passengers traveled through LAX last year, and now it's about to get even busier. Air China announced that it is adding a third nonstop service between Los Angeles and Beijing starting in May.
It is very, very significant in that, well, number one, it's going to generate a big impact on the local economy, and then it's going to provide better, improved convenience for both business travelers and tourists as well.
According to officials, Los Angeles now becomes the only city in the U.S. that will have 3 daily direct flights to Beijing. This translates into more than 40 flights a week that take off to and from China.
This is really, I think, a reflection that Los Angeles is the eastern capital of the Pacific Rim. It's the gateway for Chinese travelers, businessmen and women, and for the investments that are coming between our two countries.
Air China, which will be moving from Terminal 2 to the Tom Bradley International Terminal, said that its third nonstop service will start with 4 flights per week in May and then increase to daily service in July.
There's a growing appeal among Chinese travelers to visit Los Angeles and the United States.
Air China officials say the third international flight will create about 3,000 jobs and will bring in $620 million into the Los Angeles economy. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, 100 million Chinese are expected to travel overseas in 2015, and LA is one of their favorite destinations. Back here on terra firma, some good news for bus riders. You won't have to carry loose change or even your wallet for that matter just to pay for your bus fare. As Anna Marcos tells us, just use your smartphone.
It's an app that lets you pay for your bus fare or bus pass with your smartphone. And Mayor Eric Garcetti is among the first to try out the LA mobile app as he boards the bus.
Right here you can see I just paid for a ticket. I got 20 tickets. Came on here, just showed it to our great driver, our great operator, and then she said, go on. She counted me, and I'm off.
We want to give you the easiest, most fun way to get on the bus and get around town.
LA is the first California city to create a mobile app for paying bus fares. The app is good for riders of the Dash and Commuter Express buses. But city leaders hope LA County's Metro bus system will soon create a similar app.
We're taking the transit out there and we're bringing it into the palm of your hands.
Here, that's where you're shot.
We've got it. We've got the palm of our hands right here.
It is something that has an economic benefit to the city and a user benefit to the people using it.
Meanwhile, Garcetti and crew not only enjoy the bus ride, but a walk through LA streets afterward, taking in the sights and ending up with a little treat at a local eatery, getting around the city through a little app in the palm of your hand. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
You can download the LA mobile app onto your phone from Google Play or the App Store. For more information, you can call the city's toll-free hotline at 311. LAPD detectives have arrested 3 gang members in connection with the fatal shooting last summer. The arrest also netted over a dozen weapons connected to a known Valley area gang. Foothill area homicide detectives served simultaneous search warrants at 3 locations in Arleta at the end of January. The warrants resulted in the arrest of 3 gang members they say were connected to the August 2014 homicide that occurred in the Pacoima area. Police also confiscated these 16 firearms, including 3 assault rifles. Police say 39-year-old victim Juan Chavez was hanging out with friends in the courtyard of his apartment complex on Van Nuys Boulevard in Hatton last August 15th when he was senselessly shot and killed.
The courtyard was full of tenants, including children in the playground area. A vehicle drove past the location and returned a few minutes later. The occupant of the vehicle fired several rounds toward Mr. Chavez and his friends. Mr. Chavez was struck in the head by the gunfire and collapsed at scene.
Police say the individual who pulled the trigger is a minor. Sadly, Chavez's own son was in the courtyard when the shooting occurred.
He's having a hard time concentrating in school and on everything because he witnessed his father get shot and he witnessed his father die on the scene.
Foothill area detectives were able to crack the case through good old-fashioned police work, helping to bring some justice to Chavez's son, elderly mother, and other family members.
Through their continued relentless investigation, they were able to narrow down the make and model of the vehicle and communicated this information to Foothill patrol officers. Based on that information, Foothill patrol officers stopped this vehicle in October and detained potential suspects.
Detectives chose not to reveal the name of the gang that the suspects belonged to, citing an ongoing investigation. Another shooting victim from the August incident, a 16-year-old boy, made a full recovery. New infrastructure at one city-owned golf course is expected to save over 160 million gallons of drinkable water annually, and the city plans to step up their game in the coming months. Gil Reyes reports.
With the ceremonial spigot twisted open, city leaders unveiled a cost-saving way to water this golf course in Pacoima, a system that's expected to be par for the course at more city-owned links.
We will more than double our goal of reducing our water use this year compared to our water use last year.
For the first time since it opened in 1964, the popular Hansen golf course is using treated sewage water for irrigation instead of drinking water. It's possible because of a nearly 1-mile extension of LA's Purple Pipe recycled water system. This new extension transports recycled water from treatment plants to Hansen Dam and into the greens. Improvements at Hansen Golf Course are expected to save the city 163 million gallons of drinking water each year, enough to supply 1,000 homes. With California reeling from a record drought, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti is shooting for a 20% reduction in freshwater use by 2017.
It's an ambitious target, one that I know we can meet, but it will require all of us to participate in to get there.
Recycling, infiltrating, capturing, doing everything that we can to maximize that resource, the more we're going to have and the less expensive it will be for Angelenos.
Right now, 76% of city-owned golf courses use recycled water. The mayor is shooting for an 85% goal within 2 years, and it'll be done through further expansion of the Purple Pipeline. In Pacoima, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Planned extensions of the Purple Pipe system are expected to bring recycled water to the Roosevelt Golf Course in Griffith Park and to the Harbor Golf Course in San Pedro. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce takes advantage of award season to promote Tinseltown to the international media. The pressure is on for LA as neighboring cities get to work on building their own pro football stadium. Also, the Highland Park community comes out to celebrate a much anticipated park. These stories in CityBeat. Councilman Tom LaBonge gave a private tour to the Hollywood sign to media in town to cover the Academy Awards, to offer historical insight into the movie industry here in LA. His tour was just one part of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce's annual Awards Media Information Center that helps to drum up excitement about Hollywood.
It's an opportunity for us to showcase what's happening in Hollywood other than the Academy Awards. And we have sponsors and vendors that show off their goods and services to the international media.
The annual event touts Hollywood as a tourism hotspot and business hub. The pressure is on in LA's quest for an NFL team. Over in the city of Inglewood, supporters showed up in council chambers donning the Rams jersey and headgear as the Inglewood City Council voted unanimously to approve an 80,000-seat stadium at the site of the old Hollywood Park racetrack to bring the St. Louis Rams to the LA area. The Chargers and Raiders have also announced they are working together on a 72,000-seat stadium proposal in the city of Carson, which is already home to the LA Galaxy's StubHub Center. In response, LA City Councilmember Curran Price issued a statement saying Los Angeles continues to be the best candidate for a new NFL team. The Los Angeles Rams played in the LA Coliseum from 1946 to 1979, while the Los Angeles Raiders played at the Coliseum through the 80s and early 90s. Highland Park residents came out in droves to celebrate a park they helped design. The Office of Council District 14 and the Department of Recreation and Parks invited the community to a festival celebrating the grand opening of York Boulevard Park. The event was complete with live music and an arts and crafts fair. The park at 4948 York Boulevard cost $3 million to construct and features water misters, a treehouse, and a play structure for children. This project is number 29 of the department's commitment to open 53 new parks in park-poor neighborhoods. And in This Week in Tweets, the city's Department of Recreation and Parks and Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell share their excitement on Twitter over a new project. At LA City Parks posted several photos of an unveiling at Echo Park Lake. Turns out the park now has 12 new bike racks in the shape and size of real bikes. This photo shows Councilman O'Farrell dramatically doing the unveil and those behind him jumping up with their arms up in the air. The councilman even sits on top of the bike-shaped bike rack. The wheel of the bike rack is designed with the lotus blossom, which the park is known for, as well as the Council District 13 logo. And Councilman O'Farrell revealed on Twitter that the bike racks were designed by his staffer, Christine Peters, and funded by his office. And this week's list of things to do, the Lantern Festival, an opportunity to volunteer with a group of like-minded people, and the LA Zoo hosts a program for scouts. Chinese New Year festivities are behind us, but you still have the Lantern Festival to look forward to. The festival marks the final day of the Lunar New Year celebration. The Chinese American Museum at 425 North Los Angeles Street at the El Pueblo de Los Angeles Historical Monument will be hosting the celebration from noon to 7 p.m. There will be continuous entertainment, arts and crafts for adults and kids, including lantern making and puppet making, food trucks, and extended museum hours. Admission is free. Go to camla.org. Have you always wanted to get into philanthropy but just didn't know where to start? Well, here's an event that will get you started. No more excuses. On Saturday, March 7th, you can join the Do Good Bus, which promises altruistic adventurism by bringing people together to help their community in a fun and social environment. The destination is a secret, but the group will be doing good and having fun all day. Pickup will be at 8 a.m. at the Universal City Metro parking lot, located at 3913 Lankershim Boulevard. The group will return at noon. For the cost of participating in the event and other details, go to marchdogoodbus.eventbrite.com. You must be 18 to participate. If you know a Boy Scout or Girl Scout, or if you are one yourself, the LA Zoo's Zoo World Patch program is being held on Saturday, March 7th, led by a knowledgeable zoo docent. The program is a 4-hour class from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for scouts, which focuses on the workings of the zoo and its plant and animal collection. Through digital presentations, hands-on activities, and adventures on zoo grounds, the program takes scouts on an investigative exploration of the zoo's plant and animal collection. The LA Zoo is located at 5333 Zoo Drive. For information such as the cost of the program or to register, call 323-644-4702. And that's a look at some upcoming things to do. A dog is lucky to be alive after being swept away by the LA River during recent rains. He survived thanks to a bystander and the quick work of LA firefighters. Here's Anna Marcos.
It's a heartwarming reunion. A dog newly renamed Lucky, the new owner who helped save him, and the LA firefighters who made the rescue by plucking him from a rain-swollen LA River in late January.
We followed the dog for about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. There were lots of wires. There was no way to even attempt a rescue. And the poor dog kept going under, and so we kept thinking that was going to be it.
There were people climbing over top of the fence that was lining the wash. We knew that they were going to be going into the water next. And so it was one of those issues, like Chief was saying, that if we don't make the rescue now, we're going to be making some possible human rescues.
I was definitely very frantic. I didn't, want to panic, obviously, but we needed to take some action.
It was Rachel Dalby who first spotted Lucky swimming in the river outside the Universal Studios lot where she works. After calling 911, she followed him all the way to the 134 and the 5 interchange, where he was finally rescued by firefighters. It was then firefighters realized why Lucky couldn't get out on his own. Call it the corgi phenomenon.
It wasn't until after we made the rescue and we brought him up that we saw that his legs were only this tall.
Meanwhile, the lovable short-legged pet and his new owner have bonded.
I did have a pretty strong sense that he was going to be going home with me.
And he has. Now Lucky and his new owner have big plans for the future, from camping to beach trips, and oh yes, a trip to the vet for a checkup. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Amazingly, even though Lucky had a leash, no owner came forward to claim him. Lunar New Year kicked off with a bang, the bang of firecrackers at the oldest parade of its kind in the country. Gil Reyes reports from LA's Chinatown, where people ushered in the year of the Ram.
It's billed as the oldest Chinese New Year parade in the nation. The 116th annual Golden Dragon Parade wound through Hill and Broadway in downtown, filling the streets with colorful customs and confetti.
I want my son to see the line dance and, all the normal traditions.
Lion dancers, dragon dancers, and confetti cannons. They all helped ring in the year of the ram, or the sheep, or the goat, if you prefer. On the sidelines, people took their time to carefully stitch ram-inspired artworks, and fittingly so, the year of the ram is characterized by perseverance as well as imagination.
The ram is the creative animal out of the zodiac, so this is a year for artists and for creative energy, and we wanted to celebrate that.
Gung Hai Fat Choi. This is going to be a great year of the Ram, a great year for Los Angeles, and a great year for the friendship between Los Angeles and the Chinese American and Chinese communities.
The Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Grand Marshal Sheriff Jim McDonnell led the mile-and-a-half-long procession. Also on hand were LAPD Chief Charlie Beck, Los Angeles City Attorney Mike Feuer, marching bands, pageant queens, and at least one cyclist.
Here in Chinatown, all the families, good to see you guys, and it's all exciting. This is great. Gil Cedillo is behind me, Mayor Garcetti's in front, and I'm going to ride off. Gung Hai Fat Choi.
We look forward to prosperity for everyone in the city. It's a great, exciting time.
In Chinatown, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. And our Twitter handle is at LATW35. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.